Since I'm the fusion of Vegeta and Kakarot, I guess that makes me Vegeta. And this is Super Vegito!
What's going on, guys? Vegito here, and this is before this video starts, I want to say thanks for 100 subscribers. You know, once the 200 subs, started writing in a script. Which, by the way, we are already at 200 subs. As we hit that while I was on vacation. But yeah, I'm going to take a second to explain how the subscriber process is going to work on this channel. As they will always be a brand new what if. Whether it be MHA, DBZ, or Pokemon. And maybe the MCU eventually. And speaking of that, our 200 special is going to be our first MCU what if. I'll tell you why I thought that at the end. As for our first subscriber special, I decided to combine two of my favorite things, MHA and Yugioh. I had to use Yugioh GX, and it's a high school setting. And you're probably thinking, didn't Anime Sage do this what if already? Well, I have two things to say about that. One, no one owns any one what if idea. And two, it doesn't like Anime Sage is going to continue his version at the moment. At this part, I'm going to tell you guys what decks I get the characters, and a brief summary on why I gave those characters those decks, and telling you what their ace is going to be. And it's like how Anime Sage did his, I'm not going to limit myself on just the decks into his Yugioh GX. As now, the TCG and OCG use decks from all across the Yu-Gi-Oh! Multiverse. As now the TCG and OCG of Yu-Gi-Oh! Have ban lists. But I'm gonna make everyone's decks at full power. By not including OTK cards in Pot of Greed. Which is a shame, because we'll never figure out what Pot of Greed does. So with all that said, let's go over the decks. As we'll start with Deku. As for his deck, he's going to get heroes. I was originally going to give him Synchrons, but I decided to get those to Murio. I still start with elemental heroes, as well as mass heroes, to make things more fun. As his ace will be elemental hero Neos. As an 8500 attack elemental hero. As all of the main protagonists Yu-Gi-Oh! Except for Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s, all have an ace monster with 2,500 attack points. So yeah. And so let's go to Bakugo, as he is going to get the Red Dragon Archfiend archetype. As well as the Resonators. As those two archetypes just work together. As his ace will be Starlight's Red Dragon Archfiend. And of course the other Red Dragon Archfiends. As Bakugo is going to be the Kaiba of this series. And except for Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s, all of the main rivals have a 3,000 attack point monster as their ace. As he has all of the necessary tools to summon out his Red Dragons with ease. As now, we move on to Todoroki. And he's a special case. Since he basically has two quirks, I decided to give him two decks. One for fire and the other for ice. But like in canon, he prefers his ice deck. As for his ice deck, it'll be Necroz. In this case, it'll be Necroz to Trishula. And as for his fire deck, it'll be Fire Fists. I was considering Salmon Grades, but I'm saving it for Endeavor. As his ace will be Brotherhood of Fire Fist, Tiger King. And now, let's go to Tokigami. I almost forgot. Everyone can use the abilities of their archetype and on villains. For example, Deku can use the wings on Theo Stratos to get around, and the lightning powers on Theo Sparkman to attack villains. And now back to Tokigami, as he'll use black wings. Why? Because he's black? Well, because of his bird head. But enough of that. His ace is Blackwing Full Armor Master. I was considering Blackwing Armor Master, but decided against it. It'll still be in the deck, but just not his ace. Now, let's go to Uraraka. as she gets Fluffles with Edge Imps. As you both archetypes in there to use the deck effectively. As her ace will be Fright for Chimera. As an Eda gets Speedroids, which is kind of self-explanatory. With his ace being Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. As the Minetta gets Aliens, which again, kind of self-explanatory. And her ace, Alien Overlord. Then Suyu gets Frogs. Again, self-explanatory. This is totally awesome. I know, weird name. As Koda, he's using a beast deck. Kind of like Chumley from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. As his ace will be Green Baboon, Defender of the Forest. I was considering Behemoth King of the Animals, but I feel like this would fit him more. As in a Gakure will use fairies, and hence fairies don't really exist, and Shinji kind of irrelevant. And of course, getting the Parshath cards as well for a little extra firepower. As her ace, we Sacred Arc Erudite Parshath. As in, we come to Momo. I was saying her deck was tricky. And she's very intelligent, has a creation quirk. So I was throwing deities. Funny boob joke. And Light Sworns. But I ultimately assigned Light Sworns as deities. You all go to some random pro hero or villain. As her ace will be Judgment Dragon. And now for Jiro. As for her deck, I decided to go for Melodious, as it's a music themed deck that fits perfectly with her personality. And her ace will be Bloom Prima, the Melodious Choir. Most common getting Thunder Dragons, with a few Berryman cards, mainly with Thunder Dragon Titan's effect. As with this deck, I personally run Berryman cards. First for Titan, as his ace is Thunder Dragon Titan. And now, Kiroshima. Now this deck was pretty good one to come up with, as he will get Super Heavy Samurais. In Animated version, he got 6 Samurais. I figured Super Heavy Samurais would fit him better, as his hardening is more of a defensive quirk, and Super Heavy Samurais can attack while in defense mode. Plus, Samurais are manly, as his ace will be Super Heavy Samurai Steam Train King. And now for my least favorite character, Minetta. As he'll get Harpy Ladies. And I know what you guys are gonna say. Ironic to the highest degree. He's probably trying to smash the holograms. And his ace is Harpy's Pet Dragon. And now for Shoji. I actually had a hard time deciding what deck to give him, but I settled on Super Quantums. I was originally going for Invoked, but there's not really a good pure Invoke decks. So I decided to settle on Super Quantums. As his ace will be Super Quantum Mech King Great Magnus. Now for Ogiro, as he's getting Blackluster Soldier. Saying, isn't that a bit too powerful for him? Hey, was there I give Noble Knights. And I feel for going one of the old school archetypes. As his ace will be Blackluster Soldier Super Soldier. And note, this will be like a Blackluster Soldier Chaos deck. So yeah. Now for Sato, as he gets my Dolces. As it's a sweet themed archetype. As his ace shall be Dolce Pudding Sis, Chocolatala Mode. Gee, it's a long name. As Aoyama gets Gem Knights. As I was considering Crystal Beasts, but they'd probably be too powerful for him. As his ace is Gem Light Lady Brilliant Diamond. And now, to finish our Class 1A, we have Cerro. As he gets X Sabers. As there wasn't really an archetype about tape, so I gave him X Sabers, as they have a tape monster. And his ace is the Black Saber Golems. And now Class 1A is finished, let's go over the Big 3. Or Big 4 in this scenario. As Zane is going to be in the story. As he'll have his same deck from Canon with all the modern upgrades. In case you didn't know, he played as a Cyber Dragon deck. Now, let's go to Murio. As like I said earlier, he's going to deck out Yuzuki originally. Like how he was supposed to get one for all originally. Season 4 spoiler. As he gets Synchrons. As his ace is Stardust Dragon and all its evolved forms. As Tamaki, he's going to get my favorite deck of the Big 4, being Dangers. His aces will be Danger Thunderbird and Danger Bigfoot. Now for Nejire. Now this is definitely more fun to come up with, being Dragon Maids. As her ace is House Dragon Maid. It's like her Dragon Maids because she enters the Ryukyu, the Dragon Hero. As now we move on to the Pro Heroes, starting with All Might. As he is going to get the one deck that can really counter All For One's deck, being Spellbooks. That's just going to be at full power with modern upgrades. As his ace will be High Priestess of Prophecy. And now for Endeavor, as he gets Salamangreats, like I mentioned earlier. As his ace will be Salamangreat Pyro Phoenix. As in class by his homebrew teacher, Aizawa. As he's getting Cyframes. As it's the deck with the most of the gates in the game. That's writing in his script. As Aizawa can erase quirks. So it would make sense for him to have the deck that's famous for negates. As his ace will be Cyframe Lord Omega. As Mirko gets Lunalights, kinda self-explanatory. As her ace will be Lunalight Panther Dancer. And then Grandtorino. Now I was originally not gonna include him in this video, but I figured you guys would complain if I didn't. Now his deck was one of the most difficult. Right behind Shoji and Twice. But I finally managed to pick a deck for him, as his deck will be Destiny Heroes. We didn't go to his quirk or his personality. So I decided on this hero deck, and I said it would make more sense for Deco to unlock Destiny Heroes after training Grandtorino. As his ace will be Destiny Hero Dogma. And now for Hawks, as he gets Brave Raptors with a Blackwing sub-engine. His ace will be Brave Raptor Final Fortress Falcon. As Midnight gets Dark Lords, which is kinda self-explanatory. As her ace will be the first Dark Lord. Yes, I know it's a real card. And then Conley Woods gets Predaplants. As I had to give him a plant-based deck. I did want to give him Black Rose Dragon. So his ace will be Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. As Mount Lily gets Subterrors, I don't think I need to explain why. And her ace will be Subterror Behemoths Speleologeist, however you pronounce that. Nevertheless, pro hero covering in this video, Sir Nighteye. And he gets Allied Justice, and since he's All Might's former sidekick. And he's actually Allied Justice Decisive Armor, which is kind of famed for his personality. And now we move on to the villains, starting with All For One, as he's gonna get a deck so evil. It's as evil as he is, being Dragon Rulers, as they'll be at full power with modern upgrades, kind of like All Might's decks. Well, All Might's deck. And for his ace, it's all 4 Dragon Rulers. Now for Shigaraki, as he gets Burning Abyss. And when he gets All For One, manga spoiler alert, his deck will be upgraded to PK Fire, which is basically a combination of Burning Abyss and Phantom Knight. And his ace shall be Dante, Traveler of the Burning Abyss. And now Dabi. I was considering giving him Phantom Knights, but since it's somewhat lacking in the power department, he will get Infernoids, as his ace will be Inferno Onunku. As Toga gets Vampires, which is kind of self-explanatory. And her ace is Vampire Voivode. And now for Toga's partner in crime, in my opinion, the funniest character in the show, Twice. Seriously, you haven't watched the show, watch it for Twice. He's hilarious. As his deck was rather tricky. Oh, the most tricky deck to pick. But I decided on Draco Slayers. As his ace lead Mr. Prominence, the Blasting Draco Slayer. And now for Kuragiri. And I was originally not going to have him duel, but I decided against the idea at the last minute. As his deck will be Cubics. And they have Crimson Nova Trinity, and Crimson Nova Trinity, the Dark Cubic Lord. And now for the Stain wannabe, Spinner. As his deck is a Venom deck. Kind of like the one with Viper used in Season 3 of GX. With modern upgrades, obviously. And this is actually Venomanaga, the deity of poisonous snakes. And now for the hero killer himself, Stain. As his deck will be Evil Heroes. As I want him to get Evil Heroes to Deku at some point in the story. As his ace will be Evil Hero Malicious Fiend. And now for Muscular. As his deck will be Goki's. As I was originally going to give him Battle Boxers, but I figured he was something a little extra firepower. As his ace will be Goki the Giant Ogre. Now for Mr. Compress. As his deck will be Cleaforts. Cleafort Towers. Now for Magne. Almost forgot about her at the last minute. As her deck will be Melfos. As her ace will be Melfos Vanisher. And now for the last villain being Overhaul. And his deck being ABC. As the deck and his quirk are very similar. As his ace will be ABC Dragon Buster. And now, we finally have all the decks covered, let's get this party started! And Yuzuki will still be quirkless, which means, like an imitated version, he'll be getting a deck full of normal monsters. And not even the good ones, I'm talking about the crappy ones, like a Tatsumi Giant. But he does get first to the dragons, leaving some of a fighting chance. As Bakugo, we give a powerful archetype, which would give him a massive superiority complex. Like in canon. As this means at MHA, where Zuku is heading home from school, and he gets attacked by a Sludge Villain using a Worm deck. And Zuku tries fighting him off with First of the Dragons. But luckily All Might arrives time to finish the fight with High Priestess of Prophecy. And he says to Zuku, "Not bad, kid. You're actually pretty good for a quirkless kid. Maybe I can train for the UA Dual Academy entrance exam." As then the 10 months of training begin. And instead of having to pick up trash like in canon, he's going to train to be a better duelist. And so 5 months in, All Might tells Zuku why he's been training him. As All Might is looking for a successor for his power, which has a more Egyptian origin this time. Which I'm still going to call One for All for the sake of convenience. As All tells Zuku to eat his pubes, as he does, and there's a dream sequence where he sees a big muscular-looking creature. As they approach him, he says, "Hello, Izuku Midoriya. My name is Elemental Hero Neos, and you are the 9th user of this power. As I will now serve as your new ace monster." And Izuku's deck starts to glow as he takes out a dual disc. As the Elemental Hero Neos card appears, and the rest of his cards change into more elemental heroes. As then his X deck changes to all them past heroes, and the 6 Omni heroes appear. Now the Omni heroes are 6 elemental heroes, but to summon them, you need a hero monster and a monster that Omni hero's attribute. As Neo says, good luck Yuzuki Midori on the entrance exams. As this part comes to a close. As next time, we'll be covering the UA Duel Academy entrance exams. Guys, next time more what ifs. But before I go, I'm going to tell you guys what the 200 special is going to be. As it's going to be our first MCU what if, and our first one-shot what if. Well, one shot for now. And it's going to be, what if Star-Lord survived the snap? I'm out. Peace.